Yes.
Let's talk about other things that people believe that the National Assembly, I'll let you respond to that, but people believe that the National Assembly should be responding to, which is the issue of restructuring. We recall that in the advent of the 8th Assembly, just shortly after they entered, there was this big, huge debate on restructuring around the country. And remember the National Assembly, if I recall very clearly, the House of Reps more specifically, asked a committee within the House to look into the 2014 National Confab and see those elements which they could bring and see, you know, just how the National Assembly could do something about them. Now, we also saw the APC, which was not a member, which did not participate in the 2014 National Confab, after many months of refusing to be, to listen to the restructuring debate, decided to undertake its own, and now they've come up with a report. But people are saying, why don't you go with the first one? Why did they need to go with this other one? Who's going to take them seriously with this other one that they have come up with? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, for me, the thoughts, I think it's a very welcome development, really, that the APC, something that was in their manifesto, have finally come out with a report that they're now putting on the table to say this is after consultation, something that I believe has even been widely accepted by a lot of people because of it really touches on virtually every component of what we are talking about today, from resource control, from policing, from devolution of powers. It touches on so many things. And even from most quarters, when I say I was even the man with the heart of gold, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, even came out to say this is a good report if they would implement it. So it really tells you that there's, I think for me, I look at it that anything that will make us more efficient, we should adopt. And this is only going to further take us to a better place because it is something that a lot of people are discussing. It is something the APC ab initio talked about doing. It is in their manifesto. Whether you're talking about the last report, but I want to believe that even the last report, in May coming up with this report, the last report too was also part of what made them come up with this report. Because even the last report too was not, it was a report that comprised from views from majority of Nigerians. So I think it's a step in the right direction. It's a wonderful...
I know Mr. INEC is bursting to say something. You have the floor now.
Very well. Yeah, let me start with what the Honorable Pajok said. He's a respected senior advocate of Nigeria. And you should know that even if the National Assembly passed the proposed amendment bill to the Electoral Act, and Mr. President either assents to it or refuses to assent to it, they don't have the final say. The judiciary is there, the court is there. If the INEC has refused, neglect to go to court to challenge it, some of us in the civil society will go to court. Because I wouldn't see reasons why the National Assembly will enact a legislation telling political parties when and how to conduct their primaries. That's never done anywhere. Look at Section 87 of the proposed amendment legislation.
What will be your local standard?
My local standard, as a Nigerian that is paying his tax, as a voter, this thing is going to affect my fundamental human rights.
Not as a member of any political party.
Political party, how? I'm first of all a Nigerian before belonging to a political party.
I agree.
And when you are going to vote...
If you're not going to the court as a member of a political party saying that INEC is, I beg your pardon, the National Assembly is legislating on when political parties should conduct their primaries, the court might rule you out of order.
Whether the court rules me out of order or not. Look, the principle of locus standi was borrowed as a principle from UK, and they've jettisoned it for the country to move forward.
But Nigeria hasn't jettisoned it.
No, but it's not a rule of law. It's just a rule of court.
Mr. Anene, on the issue of restructuring, please, you had a comment?
On the issue of restructuring, as regards APC panel report, I mean, it is hogwash. It's, wishful thinking. You understand? It is wishful, it's hogwash, wishful thinking, and a broken promise in waiting.
What is the wishful thinking there that they have come up with this report and yet to pass it through the organs of their party, and they hope that they will be able to give to members of the National Assembly to do something about it? What's wishful there? In 2003, specifically, March 5th, 2003, Mr. President went to African Diaspora Conference in UK, and he stated emphatically that the problem of Nigeria is not restructuring, which was reincarnated by his New Year speech to Nigerians. Now, APC have restructuring as one of their manifesto. Now, the chairman of this committee, at one point in time, stated that he was calling for restructuring, are irresponsible and opportunist.
A former governor that belongs to this party, APC, called those calling for restructuring the people that were defeated in elections. So they don't have any belief, any trust that restructured Nigeria is the way forward. Now I'm coming. Now look at the provisions of the report. They just went and photocopied what is out there and pretend to be, presenting it to the public. So what is new?
I'm going to come in here. I'm going to come in here because if you look at the APC restructuring report and you compare it with the 2014 Confab report, I've had the privilege of going through both documents quite thoroughly. They are not the same. And I think it's important that if you say one, for example, the Confab report says let's create 18 states. The APC report says we shouldn't create any more states, just for example. So there are differences. But the question I have is, even if you look at these two reports, and we've talked to PDP officials who have said, look, I don't have any problems with what was in the document. We had a PDP rep on the program just 2 days ago who said, I don't have any problems.
I'm not here to speak for PDP.
But that's not what I'm even alleging here. I wasn't alleging that. But where I'm going is that when you hear from even PDP officials, their issue that we've spoken to, their issue has been, look, it's coming from APC. It's not about the content of the report. It's coming from APC, and they're not serious. They're not being genuine. But is that the issue? If the priority in the country is about what's in the national interest, shouldn't it be about the content of what we're talking about as opposed to who gets credit for it?
No, I'm not talking about who gets credit to it, but I'm talking about the attitude towards restructuring. We have to look at it too, the politics of it. Now, if you look at the content of the document, if you want to restructure Nigeria, very fair and simple. We don't need this presentation to the public. After you present the report to the public, you go and represent it to the National Working Committee of the party and present it to INEC of the party before you present it to the president. For me, that is unserious.
But the PDP is trying to do the same thing.
It's not about PDP, separate PDP for my opinion.
I know, I'm telling you that.
This is my personal opinion.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that we have two major political parties, and the other party is saying they want to do the same, they want to go through the same process.
There are two major political parties in Nigeria. There are other political parties in Nigeria. There are Nigerians who doesn't belong to any political party. Are you saying they shouldn't have their views? Now, if we want to restructure Nigeria, the same APC report talked about onshore-offshore dichotomy. Now, look at the case of Attorney General of Adamawa State and 21 others, and against Attorney General of the Federation and 8 others, the Torah states. The issue of onshore-offshore dichotomy was resolved. So why are they bringing it? Now, if you look at Section 44, Section 3, that provides that all the minerals in Nigeria shall be vested with the federal government. Have they tinkered with it? Now, if you look at Section 162, Section 2 of the Constitution, that provides for a revenue allocation where all the revenues accruing to the federation shall be paid into one account. To be allocated, taken into consideration, population, land mass. Even if you are not farming in land, it will be taken into consideration, land mass, population density, need, derivation. Now, if you see where federation is working, Nigeria only is an aberration.
Mr. Anene, can the federation be restructured without the input in the National Assembly, for example, of either the PDP or APC?
The National Assembly had the opportunity to restructure Nigeria and they failed. They failed. They voted APC, put by National Assembly. They have the majority of the National Assembly. That's not the question I'm asking. They refused to vote for devolution.
That's not the question I'm asking.
You asked me about the import of the National Assembly to this. They had the opportunity in the last constitutional amendment. They refused to restructure Nigeria. So why is anybody selling to you now?
You're saying that you have an opinion as a citizen of Nigeria. What I'm saying to you is that if the country is going to move forward and there's going to be progress and it will be restructured, can it be done without the input of either of the two major parties? That's what I'm asking you, sir.
You see, the process.
Whether it is done with the input of the National Assembly or Nigerians, the most important thing is that Nigeria wants to be restructured. Nigeria must be restructured, whether they believe it or not, whether they like it or not. Yes, through the National Assembly, because our constitution must be amended. But the National Assembly, as presently constituted, has not shown any interest to restructure Nigeria. That's my worry. Now, if we want to restructure Nigeria, probably we have 36 states and FCT. All the states of the Federation coming to Abuja to draw money at the end of every month. Tell me which country this thing happens, except Nigeria. At the end of every month, Commissioner for Finance from even Enugu State, Anambra State, they will come to Abuja and collect money and disappear.
You are stating
and the issue of statism.